Breaking news. Ripple XRP just filed to become a real U.S. bank. I'm talking about federally licensed. I'm talking about directly plugged to the Fed. This ain't a crypto company no more. This is financial legacy bowing down to blockchain. You know what this means for XRP? Do you know what this means for URL Do you know what it means for you? On this episode of Crypto Fan, we're going to get into it. If you're down with this crypto gang, hit a like and hit a subscribe. Today, XRP just made its biggest regulatory move. It filed for a bank charter. That means them becoming a bank institution, like Bank of America, like JP Morgan Chase, like Wells Fargo. That means they can hold your money, okay? That means your money and your fiat and your XRP being backed by the federal government, okay? And then they also filing to get on the federal rails. That means the federal government watching the monies 24/7 for settlement. All right. So that means you can get an XRP debit card. That means they'll be able to give you loans at the bank for XRP. You'll be able to get loans against your XRP. That means that they'll be able to move monies around globally from, just say, for example, USDC to Euro with no middleman. That means no middleman. And they're talking about XRP saying they can move it faster, okay, with less costs, move it quicker with less fees. So what do you think happens to SWIFT? What do you think happens to Western Union? What do you think happens to Visa Net if they're moving it quicker with less fees? Do you understand what I'm talking about? They're becoming a bank. That means they become custodians of your money. Okay, that means XRP Ripple being a bank, moving monies around. And don't think I didn't notice the EVM. And what that is, I'm going to get short into it. That's moving Ethereum on the XRP ledger with no gas fees. So I'm going to do a second episode about that. Now, if you guys haven't noticed, the Genius Acts, that's to make USDC stablecoin legal by feds back to 1 by a dollar. So you understand that XRP's opening a bank. You know what kind of adaptation this would happen? Wall Street would come in once their money is backed by the federal government. That means that's insured FDIC. So that means that the money that they're investing in, let's see, trust funds, what else? For example, let me give you an example. You guys don't understand what's going on. This gets crazy. So now you're talking about XRP now, just for example. So now you have XRP tapped into pensions, hedge funds, government agencies tapping into Ripple bank infrastructure just because it's backed by the federal government. Now you have legal clarity. So you know what happens to that lawsuit with all this going on? It goes out the window, baby. Okay? This is bringing legal clarity. This is bringing Wall Street to XRP becoming its own bank. So what do you think that's going to do to XRP as far as the price when everything comes down and everything's done, said and done? I hope you're part of this XRP army. If you're down with this XRP army, leave a comment. All right? I'm going to go into the next episode. I'm going to talk about the EVM and what's going on with Ethereum and XRP and Ethereum being used on the XRP ledger. Ooh, that's big. That's huge. So now XRP's bridge currency becomes the bank. There's no more middleman. Imagine you going to get a loan to go get a house. You understand? And you get a house and you're like, hey, I got this amount of XRP. I want to put that loan against it so I could get this house. And you ain't going to Bank of America. You ain't going to Wells Fargo. You going straight to Ripple XRP. So you guys understand, for example, this is what kind of move it is. So imagine your iPhone. Okay, imagine iPhone not only owning the iPhone, but iPhone owning the towers. This is what kind of move this is for XRP becoming an own bank. And just so you know, Circle also filed for a bank charter. They're trying to become their own banks too. So that's going to be the only thing. That don't think they're the only one. So you thought crypto is going somewhere? You think these type of moves are going? If crypto is going somewhere, folks, you need to wake up. There's going to be a wealth transfer. On the Crypto Fam, we're trying to show you what's going on. Please hit the notifications so you can see the moves that are coming. And I got my second episode coming on the EVM, so I can talk to you about this Ethereum and XRP movement. All right, if you're down with Crypto Gang, hit a like and hit subscribe.